On a list of entitled celebrities that don't know when to shut up, Rachel Zegler has been near the top for some time now. You would have thought that she would have learned her lesson after she received backlash for criticizing beloved source material in the most tone-deaf way possible. But no, in typical modern Hollywood fashion, she doubled down on her bullshit. And now she's finding new ways to piss off an even larger group of potential customers, all in an effort to receive cultural brownie points that do not translate to box office success or a prolonged career. Let's discuss.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Crying on that stage.
When am I not crying in public? It's so upsetting. It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White. Not going to be safe with the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
In my initial video about Rachel Zegler's controversial Snow White comments, I kind of chalked it up to her being a young, impressionable girl in Hollywood who is basically being manipulated by the things that she hears every day.
Yeah. Weird.
To the point that she has an unrealistic view of how the world and storytelling works. Now, I wasn't making excuses for her necessarily, I was simply saying that the hive mind mentality impacts a lot of people, especially young people. The thing is that she could have took that initial backlash she received when she criticized Snow White for being outdated and learned from it. I mean, you would have thought that something in her mind would have clicked after all of that happened. You would have thought that she would come to the realization that her narrow-minded view of certain things is not appealing to potential customers. You see, sometimes it's okay to not share every single thought that runs through your head. I know social media has taught us otherwise, but still. You especially shouldn't be sharing every single thought that comes through your head if your goal is to attract the most amount of people possible to watch your movie.
That makes sense.
But apparently Rachel Zegler has not learned jack because recently she took her ignorance to another level when she got political. And for all intents and purposes, she appeared to wish harm on anyone who voted for Donald Trump or Donald Trump himself after the 2024 election. She said, quote, "I find myself speechless. Another 4 years of hatred leaning us towards a world I do not want to live in. May Trump supporters and Trump himself never know peace. It is a foolish subscription to a false sense of security, of masculinity, of intelligence, of patriotism, and of humanity. There is no help, no counsel in any of them." Now let me be very clear. I could give a flying how she feels politically. She is entitled to her opinion, whatever it is. This, my friends, is about the way in which she goes about coping with what happened, and how it's not a good move when you consider that she is alienating a lot of the people she needs with this type of mentality.
But why?
She basically just called a majority of the people in the United States either stupid or a lost cause. And she seemed to wish misfortune upon them in the process. This is the star of the upcoming Disney-produced Snow White remake, a movie that already has a lot of people looking forward to not watching it based on her previous comments. What do you think a more personal attack like this is going to do for the chances of that movie succeeding? It makes absolutely zero sense from both a business standpoint and a moral standpoint to take this kind of stance publicly. Especially when your livelihood depends on those very same people you are insulting showing up to see you play make-believe.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Now, we've seen this type of thing from Hollywood before, which is why I say she is very much a product of the system she was created in. But the real question is, why do you feel compelled to say anything about this at all? I mean, nothing you say is going to change the outcome of the election. Nothing you say is going to change the minds of the majority of the people who voted for him. The only thing you are really hurting by speaking up is your own career, and potentially Disney's bottom line. So why not just keep these unhinged tirades to yourself and just go about your business? Well, someone must have finally informed her of these consequences, because this time she came out and issued a formal apology, saying, quote, "Hi everyone, I would like to sincerely apologize for the election post I shared on my Instagram last week. I let my emotions get the best of me. Hatred and anger have caused us to move further and further away from peace and understanding, and I am sorry I contributed to the negative discourse. This week has been emotional for so many of us, but I firmly believe that everyone has the right to their opinion, even when it differs from my own. I am committed to contributing positively towards a better tomorrow."
I don't believe you.
Translation, either her publicist or Disney themselves told her to clean this up. Disney did not need another reason for people to not go watch this Snow White movie that they already put a lot of resources into. You see, everyone wants to take a stand and be keyboard warriors until someone calls them on their or until their overlords who pay them tell them to straighten up and act right.
Dance, puppets! Dance!
Rachel Zegler is just like a lot of people we encounter on social media and on YouTube every single day. They react emotionally to a different perspective and start labeling you, judging you, and wishing ill will upon you because of it. Through my experiences, I have come to the realization that there are far too many people in the world who have not been raised to keep their emotions in check. Look at this channel, for instance. On most days, I'm just talking about whether or not I like a movie or not. And some people have proven to not be able to take their emotions out of the equation and just react and process the things that I am saying like a normal person.
S-O-F capital T. Soft. Huh?
Rachel Zegler is an extension of that mentality. Rachel Zegler needs validation to feel complete. And most of the country did not validate her, and that's why she chose to lash out. This is not the actions of a well-adjusted adult, this is the actions of a child. I do not buy this apology for a second because anyone with a brain can tell that she was clearly forced to do it. She hasn't changed. She hasn't suddenly become less emotional in the last week. It may sting a little bit less, but I guarantee you this same person that we saw in the original post will show up again the next time something doesn't go her way.
It's true.
I'm going to be very interested to see how the Snow White remake performs at the box office because of all of this. Especially since Rachel Zegler herself has done everything in her power to get people to not want to watch it. We've graduated well beyond Disney doing soulless remakes that nobody asked for. Disney has a much bigger Rachel Zegler-sized problem, and I do not see any way that this situation can be salvaged. Your paying customers are only going to take so much abuse before they say enough is enough, and it feels like we have gotten to that point.
Y'all be cool. Right on.